Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe. If you dare. I'm a 5 feet 4 inches 18-year-old girl and I used to be 200 pounds. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. People that have gone from ugly to very attractive, how did your life change? Number 1. My life changed completely. Lost 70 pounds and cut a foot of my hair off my sophomore year of college. People started treating, looking, talking and hitting on me differently. I've lost and gained friends with my so-called transformation. Before my transformation, people treated me like shit. I was that kid who always got picked on and had little to no friends. However, this is not the case anymore. Lost a few friends due to their shallowness towards me after changing. Also gained some friends with more people starting to talk to me. Took me some time to feel comfortable with this change. I now learn to channel my looks for the greater good. Number 2. I lost a ton of weight. But my confidence and self-image is so effed because of relentless teasing. I cannot approach women, so I'm 24 and have still never had a girlfriend, sex, anything at all. The one girl that did go out with me for a month, I can't really count that as a relationship, parted ways citing the following: "You're too normal, you're the first person that's ever been nice and not abusive to me, nothing gets you mad, I don't deserve someone like you, you are the type of guy that dates like beauty queens, not girls like me." I didn't even know how to respond to that. F me, right? That was an even bigger blow, and that happened just in the past few months. Didn't help one damn bit. I go from not good enough to too good. I don't think so, but apparently so according to that one girl. All in all, I'm happy that I'm healthier and can actually run without asphyxiating myself. That's A+. Also, when people stopped flicking my double chin for fun, that was a great day. Number 3. I've lost 83 pounds this year, and for the first time since I was in 7th grade I'm under 200 pounds. I was on a trip to Chicago over the weekend, and the place I stayed had a cardio room, so I went up to run on the treadmill a bit. There was an attractive girl and I noticed she looked at me a few times, and instead of thinking sweet this chick is checking me out, all I could think was what the F am I doing wrong? The confidence isn't there for me yet, but I do notice people will look my way and smile more. I just need to learn to smile at them more. Number 4. When I was in middle school, I specifically remember one of the more attractive girls in my grade having her instant messenger status as Jaworski is hot. Me being the only Jaworski in the city, and hilarious looking at the time, I took no offense, but years later I realized. Flash forward a few years, several haircuts, new teeth, and no more clothes 3 sizes too big, and I like to say that I'm doing damn fine. Jaworski is hot now, bitches. Number 5. I was pretty homely until high school. Chubby with shitty curly hair and not at all popular among my classmates. I started hanging out with cooler kids and dressing better in junior high, even had a couple girlfriends, not at the same time. Quit looking at me like that. After my freshman year in high school, my family moved us across town, and to a new school. The girls at the new school were lining up to give me their phone number and ask me out. This happened to my brother and myself, although he looked like Brad Pitt. This was before anybody knew who Brad Pitt was. As we got older, there were a couple times girls followed him around the store because they really thought he was him, and had long hair, so he didn't really go through the same homely phase that I did. He was less surprised by all of the attention, but still overwhelmed like I was. Then one day during my sophomore year we ditched school and went to hang out at my old school, the same place they filmed San Dimas High and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, by the way, and see our old friends. 2 of my ex-girlfriends saw me, went to their next class, and came back out with notes they had written telling me they wanted me back. I felt like the ugly duckling becoming a handsome swan. Now I'm old, have a paunch, and going bald, but my wife loves me anyway. Says I'm the best looking man on the planet. Who am I to argue with the prettiest woman alive? Number 6. About to get buried up in this thread, but oh well, I just enjoy sharing as motivation. My biggest weight equals 255 pounds. My smallest weight equals 160. Now equals 195. Long story short, people see you as ugly when you're bigger. I was never the attractive one, always skipped over, always friend zoned. The friend zone exists, by the way, due to lack of confidence. This is very generic, but fake it until you make it. Stick that chin up and pretend you're the effing man/woman. When you believe in yourself, so do others. I dropped the weight, my confidence peaked, I got an incredibly kind and beautiful girlfriend. Before I was ignored. Now I am on 2 banners for our college's website, the banners that rotate when you first land on the homepage, And the other day I was asked to look into a modeling contract from an agent at work, photography company. Things are great. Is dating easier? Incredibly. Does everyone seem shallow? You bet. The difference between fat me and attractive me is all aesthetics. I'm still a loser. Number 7. I was never fat but always out of shape and generally didn't give a damn. I grew my hair out real long and played video games, mostly WoW, through high school and some of college. I now go to the gym, care about how I dress, and all that jazz. I've always loved socializing with people, but it's definitely different now. Before, I would try to give off a not giving a F vibe and go home insecure, disappearing in my video games. Now, I just treat everyone, male and female, like a person and shit just comes easier, thus not having to give as many F for the same result. I highly recommend going to the gym to anyone who has self-confidence issues. Just educate yourself beforehand, please. Number 8. I'm a 5 feet 4 inches 18-year-old girl and I used to be 200 pounds. High school/middle school was the bane of my existence. People don't talk to you because you're fat. I never had guy attention and shallow girls love to keep you fat because it makes them feel better about themselves. I lost weight in a year through a lot of effing hard work. Life became completely different. Everyone was nicer suddenly. Everyone wanted to be my friend. Everyone wanted to help me with something. Are you effing joking? Yes, I get that I sweat a ton of lard every day and I could probably have fed a small village if they wanted to raise me as livestock, but that didn't make me any less of a human being. In the time I was ignored, I developed a personality and character rather than rely on my good looks. I love that I became who I am by my skills and interests rather than my looks and attention. I'm not trying to say good-looking people don't have that, not at all, but I believe it has made me a stronger person with more admirable qualities. Edit, dating is definitely not easier because guys still don't ask me out. I'm assuming they still see the fat me because I'm still completely ignored in school still, senior year with the same kids. Then again, I'm awkward as F, so maybe that's why. Number 9. When I was ugly, I had an ugly personality. Since losing 80+ pounds and cutting my hair, I found that the biggest change was internal. My life is different because I experience it differently. Yes, being better looking than before has a lot to do with it, but now that I have confidence and a sense of purpose, people respond to that more than they do my looks. Number 10. I was ugly enough to be among the half dozen or so outcasts at my school. My unsightliness made it impossible for me to even ride the bus. Scrawny, oversized head, crooked teeth, plastered in acne, swollen lips, hand-me-down clothes, and a bad home haircut kept me in lowly status from 7th grade until high school graduation. Then after an Accutane ordeal, the acne began to dissolve. I got my braces off. Then I joined the military and got in shape, and was finally able to build muscle in my early 20s. After completing my firefighting degree, I went to visit a friend in my hometown and ran into a few people I went to school with. They sort of recognized me but were in disbelief. I got a lot of satisfaction by utterly ignoring a girl who was attempting to flirt with me since she was a cold-hearted bitch in high school. TL, Dr. Life is better overall. I still have the ugly kid confidence level at times though. And yes, people are effing shallow. Number 11. I'm a 21-year-old male. I was always short and semi-awkward in the beginning of high school. As I grew up and matured, I began to realize that people were paying a lot more attention to me. It was weird, but really inspiring because my self-confidence just kept growing as I grew into a more mature body. As a long-time swimmer, swimming was an outlet for me to both feel good about my achievements, and to feel good about myself. I am very comfortable in my body now. I have a girlfriend for the first time in my life. Number 12. I grew up being bullied for being ugly and weird. I had my twin sister, fraternal, we don't look alike, at least, so it wasn't the absolute worst childhood in the world. I entered high school at a new school and found that guys were suddenly receptive to how I looked. It was really weird at first, because although I was very confident in my intelligence and the unique aspects of my personality, my looks had definitely fallen off my what makes me radar. Dating was easier, technically, because I had a larger pick. But it took dating a few jerkwads, before I realized that my looks really didn't matter. I dated the same guy for all of high school, and he's still one of my best friends. He got to know who I was, not how I looked. I think that becoming attractive seemed like something I was very excited for when I made that realization 10 years ago, but today I'm much more grateful for my ugly years. They built my character and personality in a way that probably never would have happened if I had been pretty all of my life. Number 13. I was a pretty ugly kid with acne, terrible fashion sense, and a stick-thin body who grew up to have a decent face, nice clothes, and killer curves. Now my awkwardness/stuttering is endearing and men are a lot more helpful with me. I think I have more self-confidence, I stand up straighter, which also makes me more approachable. Number 14. I was 230 pounds at my peak, always been overweight though. Over the last 2 years I've dropped to 155 pounds. I'm sitting at 13% body fat. I went from a size 40 to a size 30 and surprisingly have very little loose skin. Unfortunately I still have some terrible tattoos that need to be removed. Anyway, the changes. People are nicer, a lot nicer. I sat down in a barbecue joint and ordered 2 pounds of chicken, 3 buns, 2 baked potatoes, a ton of food. Instead of assuming I was just eating an unhealthy volume, which was the truth, the waitress asked me if I was training for an event. Girls look, people smile more, I get discounts at smaller stores where that kind of thing is possible. If anyone has ever walked around in a military uniform, that's what it reminds me of. That's how it is with strangers. With my family there is some strange animosity. I keep being told to be careful, that I'm getting too thin. I overheard my brother talking to my parents mocking my trying to hire a trainer. I get berated for non-participation when I won't eat the terribly unhealthy food they cook. My wife's family doesn't mention anything about it beyond, you look good. Number 15. Weight loss didn't transform my looks, but orthodontics sure did. I had a rapid palatal expander put in when I was 15. What I didn't realize at the time was the overall effect it would have on my entire face. The bridge of my nose narrowed, my chin changed shape, my profile improved, and oh, yes, I got an awesome smile. It only cost $6,000 and a lot of pain. The changes from my orthodontics plus puberty equaled a drastic change in my appearance in just a couple of years. It's quite the mind trip to go from a shy child to a young adult getting honked at pumping gas in a couple of years. I think there will always be a part of my brain that doesn't find myself all that attractive, but I've had enough people tell me I'm pretty that I figure there's a grain of truth somewhere in there. Smile. I make a purposeful effort in the way I dress not to attract much attention, because if I do get attention it is almost universally creepy. No, you may not touch me/stare at me at the stoplight/make a comment full of innuendo. I don't dress frumpy jeans, t-shirt, flat shoes, sweater type deal, nor do I dress particularly attention grabbing either. Just modestly/not all that fitted. I've definitely noticed the typical pretty people get treated better deal, but I do my best not to intentionally manipulate it. Not everyone is shallow. It means 100x more to me to be described as a good friend or a godly woman or beautiful inside out than it does to be called pretty. The people that mean the most to me in my life all appreciate who I am as a person rather than what I look like. Dating seems harder. Maybe that's just because I'm so awkward. I rarely get hit on, almost never get asked out. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.